Victim Act, a 158-page bill meant to overhaul the criminal code. But yet, is this another censorship bill? The third one in 10 months, with another one coming before Christmas. Let's find out. My name is Nico Rob, and I'm too conservative for the conservatives. My co-host, Rob Ambrose, not woke enough for the liberals. We are the political orphans. Man, another bill, Bill C-16, 158-page, was tabled today by Sean Fraser. They're debating Bill C-9 as we speak, and we're going to have an update on this. And we have an update on Bill C-16, Bill C-15 that we talked about heavily on Sunday, that we literally spend the whole show speaking about. So today is all about bill updates. And we're going to talk about a motion that was shut down by Carney. So today is all about updates. Yeah, it is. I don't remember, and that's a question I have for the people out there. I do not remember a government being so active on massive bills, like on potentially Canadian changing bills. Like, this is insane. Like, my intro is not an exaggeration. Bill C2, Bill C8, Bill C9, Bill C12, now Bill C16, Bill C15 that we talked about on Sunday, and we're supposed to get a new version of Bill C-63. That's 10 months. All of those bills that contain somehow surveillance or censorship in it. Absolutely insane. I don't remember ever seeing something like this.
Well, it's funny. It seems like for the last couple of years, like, government's moving very slowly, like methodically. They'll table a bill here and there. Once it comes to shutting down free speech, all of a sudden they're workaholics. They're burning the midnight oil. They're putting in long hours when it comes to taking away Canadian free speech. It's funny.
So, well, it's not funny. It's funny as
not funny. Funny like, what the fuck? We're fucked.
I think it was Nadine Wellwood when she was on the show saying that Carney's extremely good at passing bills. He understands how to get it done, and he is just like, he seems to be a paperwork junkie. Like, he just knows, as a banker, he just knows how to get that stuff through. And it's,
well, really, that's like modern banking is that, right? It's pushing paper.
Yeah, it's 100%. Plus, on top of that, don't forget that he has a gun ban in effect, where he's been collecting guns in Nova Scotia, and they decided to push that countrywide, although it was extremely unsuccessful. They literally, I think last time I checked, they got 22 guns in as a buyback. So
that's crazy.
And that is all.
And now they're going to put it national now.
You know, when I was still working for the man, when I was in sales before Christmas, it was super busy for us because everybody's trying to push their contract before they go on vacation, right? All your clients wait till the last minute to all ask you questions, to get work. They need something from you, and it needs to be done now because they're going on vacation. This is exactly how it feels. So let's watch a video, because there's really not much out with the new Bill C-16 Protecting Victim Act. It was dropped a few hours ago, like 4 or 5 hours ago, and at 158 page, this is a massive bill. Like, it will take me, I will sit down and I will read it, but this will take me half a day, maybe a full day to go through it. So I will try to do that tomorrow or Thursday. But all to say that I got a video that Sean Fraser seems to be talking about. I was able to find, Grok was able to give me an idea of what they spoke about, as in what we can expect in the bill. But I wasn't, a couple hours ago when I was finishing up the show, I was not able to put my hands on the actual bill itself. Although it was tabled today, it normally takes a day or two before it's available to the public. We don't have a copy of it. So all I can talk about right now are what I could find through videos, through what is being said about the bill by media. So I don't know yet. It's not anything specific, but you'll see that they're always using the same type of wording. And the video I'm going to show you of Justice Minister Sean Fraser is no exception. You'll see how it starts, and it's always about violence. It's always about protection. It's always about making the bad men pay, yet they're soft on criminal. So here's Sean Fraser giving us an idea of what Bill C-16, the Violence Protection Act, is all about.
A woman being killed in this country every other day. This is a statistic that should shock the conscience of every Canadian, not just because of the number of people who are impacted, but because we understand through our own experiences that these are real people in real communities. For some of us, that's the classmates
women are real,
with,
just so you know.
We used to visit, who grew up down the street. For others, it is our coworkers who we no longer see at the office. And for others, it is the immediate family members whose life has been ended too soon. We are moving forward with changes that will recognize the severe impact that femicide has on families, on communities, on people in this country. We specifically will be creating a constructive first-degree murder charge where certain factors are present when a murder takes place, including a murder that is motivated by hate.
So I'm just going to pause it because the video is not that long. It's only 1 minute 42 seconds. We're halfway through, but he mentioned the word femicide.
Yeah.
So the bill is gender-based. That is one of the reports that I'm seeing, that I'm reading, is that the bill is based on gender, and it's based on hate.
Can't we all just agree murder is bad? And it doesn't really matter what your motivation was. I don't know why, like, I don't know why, you know, if your motivation was this, you're going to get more of a punishment, which means if you murdered someone with a different motivation, you'll get less punishment. Why don't we just throw the book at everyone who fucking murders people? It's really not hard. Like this guy,
and it's even more than that. It's more than that, because now he's using the word femicide. I had to Google that to make sure I understood what he was saying here. But now we have a bill that is coded in feminism. Yeah. So if a guy commits a crime against a woman, let's say a guy beats his wife, sake of argument. Did he beat his wife because he hates women? Or did no, but you know what I'm saying? That's what he just said. Sean Fraser just said that he wants to rewrite the criminal code. Update the criminal code so that the gender and the intention of hate is added as a penalty. So if a guy beats a woman, did he beat his... And I'm not agreeing that that should happen. That is not... I'm not condoning this. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. No. Are they saying that if a man beats his woman, does that mean that he's hateful against women as a whole? And because he's a heterosexual guy, he hates all women? Is that going to apply to lesbians? Because the higher rate of physical violence, did you know that the highest rate of
I did know that
of violence within a couple are lesbians, and the lowest one is gay guys.
Gay men, yeah.
just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. I've heard that, and it's one of those things like just do
it's
it.
True,
do with it as when you say it, and look, hey, this is just a fact. Do with it as you will. Not say, come to your own conclusions here. But I think when he says, hey, I think he means, I take it to mean race-based and fucking that nonsense, right? Like,
well, it's hate, man. Everything can be hate.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, and this is, of course, why it's a ridiculous thing, right?
Yep.
And I'm sure, like, when you say, like, I oppose hate crime legislation, there's always some idiot who's going to say, like, oh, so you like hate crime?
You're for hate.
Yeah, so you support hate? No, you idiot. It said it's a subjective thing that's impossible to define legally. And so we shouldn't go down that road. It's completely reasonable and in fact preferable just to say murder is a bad thing. We will treat all murderers the same. You know what I mean?
How dare you?
And I'm sure like where he's got things here where he's like you said, if it's motivated by hate, it will be, you'll get more of a punishment. He won't say it, but there are other factors that will give you less of a punishment. Like if you murder someone, if you murder a woman, but you're an immigrant, you're going to get less time.
That is what Bruce Party was mentioning the other day, right? I made a video about this saying how Bill C9 is racist.
And that's not written down anywhere, and no one will admit that's going to happen. But in practice, we're seeing it everywhere we look. We're seeing immigrants
100%.
or people who are in the immigration process, not even citizens yet, who are getting lenient sentences by judges for sex crimes. And the judge is saying specifically, I'm giving you less of a sentence so that it does not affect your immigration status. And it's like, what? How the fuck did we get here? Those are the people whose immigration status you want to affect. You want to affect 100%. Those people's immigration status.
Yes. So let's finish the video and then let's rip into it even further.
Including murder that takes place during the commission of a sexual offense, and including murder that follows a pattern of coercive and controlling behavior. We will be changing the regime on how evidence is adduced to streamline the process and shorten the time between a charge and the conclusion of a trial. In addition to these procedural changes that will reduce the number of cases that face lengthy delays, we will be addressing in the short term the phenomenon where cases are dismissed for delay, again, not because charges have been defeated, but because the process has taken too long. We are going to ensure that the threatening distribution of child sexual abuse and exploitation material is included to address challenges we see with sextortion in this country. We'll be establishing new offenses to better protect our kids, including inviting exposure of a child to an adult, and strengthening the ability of the Canadian justice system to respond to the abuse of children that may take place in another part of the world. Gender-based violence and the exploitation of Canadian children is an issue that should concern all of us. And I hope that you will take from today that the federal government is committed to being a good partner in this cause. And we look forward to receiving the support of all parties in the House of Commons to adopt this bill expeditiously.
Again, expeditiously, so they are. So once again, they're looking to fast track.
Yeah, they're looking to streamline.
This is always, no, it's not streamline. It's fast tracking it. They're literally trying, because normally when you hear streamline, at least in business streamline, you're making something that's existing. You're making it better by removing some of the steps that are not needed or not warranted that you could do better. This is not streamlining. This is fast tracking something. You're trying to skip ahead if you can. And I'm tired of them talking like this because, like I said, C2, C8, C9, C12, C15, C16, and we were told to expect a new C63 by the end of the year. That's seven massive bills in the past 10 months that change Canada's landscape from surveillance to censorship. They're going after hate speech. They're going after speech altogether. So all those bills either are surveillance bills, they're speech bills, and that's the seventh one. We can expect a seventh one in 10 months. It's absolutely insane.
And this is against the backdrop of the fucking economy going through the fucking cratering through the floor. Like, do you not have more important? Like, nobody gives a shit about this. No one's clamoring for this. People are worried about their jobs. People are worried about, job security. They're worried about affordable groceries. They're worried about feeding their families. Nobody gives a shit. No normal people give a shit about this stuff. As a great comment here by Rusty Wiener. Love that name.
It ain't Weiner.
He said, no matter how much you try to get us to say Weiner, it ain't not gonna fly.
It ain't gonna happen, bro. Sorry.
No, that's not how we roll here. He says, femicide, that's disgusting. Now it's written in law that a woman's life is worth more. Gender-based violence is bullshit. That's a great point. I mean, and when you say that point to, say, a feminist or someone supports that, they will say something like, no, that's not what it means, blah, blah, blah. But if you ask them to explain how it doesn't mean that, they'll never be able to, like, it is what it means. At heart, fundamentally, that is what that means. And that's why a lot of these, the hate crime stuff, remember we talked to Bruce Purdy, and he said it has to happen, the definition of hate is these crimes that happen to people of an identifiable group. But white people are not part of an identifiable group. So essentially what those laws are saying is that a white person's crimes against a white person are worth less. It's not as important. And this is just further down the road of a two-tier justice system. And it's such an easy problem to solve. Just fucking treat everybody the exact same. Treat every crime the exact same. It doesn't matter who the identity of the victim. Treat all murders the same. Treat all robberies the same. All rapes the same. it just one law that applies to everyone. It's so fucking simple.
So here are the stats. So this is what's funny about that femicide. So before I go into the next comment I wanted to make, I got a definition of femicide. So the definition of femicide is killing of women and girls because of their gender, which can take the form of inter alia, the murder of women as a result of intimate partner violence, the torture and misogynist slaying of women. So you're killing women because they're so
because
here is
women?
what
That's stupid.
yes, you're killing them because they're women. But listen, but I just want to state the statistics before we push. But hold on, this is where it's going to get interesting, because earlier I was saying how the people that are most prone to violence within a relationship are lesbians. I just want to show the numbers. 43.8% of lesbian women have experienced violence within their relationship. 35% in heterosexual relationship, and 26% of men and gay couples have experienced violence. So women are almost twice as much likely in a lesbian couple to experience violence than gay men. Who's really the problem here? I'm just saying. I'm just pointing it out here. Who's really the problem here?
I've heard that fact before, and it's pretty
and this it's
intriguing.
been the same for a long time, because I've been using those statistics multiple times a year, like when I debate lesbians on why men are so important for boys. That's one of the statistics that I show all the time. But all to say that you consider this, you consider that now they're calling it femicide, they're trying to put hate on gender even more. So this is a feminist bill, right? But the question I have for this when I listen to something like this is, okay, considering that women are almost twice as likely in a lesbian relationship to receive physical violence from their partner than men are, does that mean that a woman beating her woman partner is going to receive lesser of a sentence than a man beating his wife? And I'm not condoning I am not condoning physical violence or any type of violence against your partner. That is not what I'm saying. But if we're going to play devil's advocate from a law perspective, does that mean that a woman that commits a crime against a woman is not doing it because she's a woman? She's doing it because of whatever reason, because she was mad. Let's say that's the issue. If a man commits a crime against a woman, is that a hate towards her gender? If a man commits a crime, if I'm at a bar and I'm flirting with this woman, which I think she's a woman, I grab the middle pants, there's a fucking dick there, I smash his face, I punch him as hard as I can to knock his fucking ass off, does that mean I committed a hate crime against a trans woman?
I mean, that's probably not the best example, because that is a crime. If you grab his dick,
no, but hold on.
If he grabs your dick,
hold on.
And then you find out that it's a man.
Then... Listen to what I'm saying. But I'm not grabbing his dick. I'm grabbing his crotch, thinking it's a woman, and then I find a penis there. I don't know that it's a trans man. I think I don't know that it's a trans woman.
He hasn't done anything yet.
No, but you're not listening. Let's say you're not listening.
He kissed you or something.
No, you're not. No, forget that part. I'm not condoning the violence here. I'm just saying, if I'm touched by a dude and I don't like it, I punch him. This is self-defense, right? If a woman, I think as a woman, hits on me, we end up kissing, grab the crotch area, there's a dick there, and I lose my shit and I punch him. Is this violence? Yes. Am I going to be in trouble? Yes. But did I punch a woman or did I punch a man? This is what I'm trying to get to.
I think they'll consider it a woman. I think they'll consider it a woman.
So basically, I will be committing violence against a woman. Thus, Bill C-16 is going to consider the fact that I did it out of hate for women, and I'm going to face a longer sentence.
That's crazy.
Because a dude in a... But see, this is the point I'm trying to make. I am not condoning violence here. All I'm saying is violence, and women are more prone to violence in couples than men are. Why are they protected through femicide? This is the part I don't understand. That whole point is full of shit. So much bullshit.
I have a real problem with the assumption that every crime committed against women is committed against her because she's a woman. Because, like, let's say a guy comes home and gets in a fight with his wife and he's drunk and he murders her. That guy should, I mean, if we're up to me, he face the death penalty. If nothing else, he should never get out of prison. He should be in jail for the rest of his life. But I don't think that he murdered her necessarily because she's a woman. And what a ridiculous assumption to make. Like, especially if they're a married couple, it's assumed that they're going to have all kinds of context. They're going to have history. They're going to have drama. Those are the reasons he murdered. Maybe she cheated on him or something. Doesn't, of course, condone murder, of course. But if a guy walks home after a day of work and his wife's fucking his best friend and he murders her, are they going to say he murdered her out of hate? And I'm not supporting the murderer. That guy should go to jail for the rest of his life. But this is a crazy notion. It highlights why this concept of hate really has no business anywhere near court of law.
No.
It's as Bruce Party said, the law has always been about legislation behavior, what you actually did. And now it's starting to legislate, or now it's starting to crack down on the thoughts behind the behavior, the intention behind the behavior, the emotions behind the behavior. And that's crazy. Yep. That is not a road we want to go down.
No, absolutely not. That is a very, very dangerous road to go down. And to kind of expand to what I was saying, so does that mean, so if a guy hits a woman, obviously Bill C-16 will stipulate that it was a hate crime. Yep. It was a hate crime against women. If a man gets in an altercation with a dude in a dress thinking that was a woman and he got deceived and somebody in the comment calls it a reflex, it's still violence. But the point is that, does that become violence against
I think it will be, yes.
women? And that's a hate crime. So does that mean that if a woman kills a man, which happens all the time, if a woman hits a man, which happens all the time, it's not a hate crime? So basically what you're saying is that heterosexual men are going to be literally hated on by this bill. So now not only are Christian in Canada being attacked through Bill C-9, now Bill C-16 is saying to heterosexual men that we are hateful by nature. Is that what I'm hearing? Because that's what it sounds to me. If you're protecting everybody except heterosexual men, are you saying that we're less? That we are not valued as much?
Well, that is what it's saying. Yeah, I mean, there's no way around it. Now, it won't say that, of course. The wording won't be there, but that is what the wording of the law is saying. What's interesting though is, you brought up the domestic violence rates in lesbian couples, which are the highest of higher than heterosexual couples. But if a woman is beaten or killed by her lesbian partner, I guarantee you, the person who commits that crime will not be subject to these new added penalties. Even though
that was my point.
It's a woman being murdered, but it's not femicide when it's a woman murderer. It's got to be a man. So it's hard to see this as anything other but as a targeting men. And as someone who just believes in an equal society, that can't be we can't do that shit. And I wish more people would stand up, because you know how it is. If you're a white man and you speak up, no one's going to pay attention to you. This is why I speak up for the Christians when I see Christians getting persecuted and just treated unfairly by the government, because I know that it's not that effective if it's the Christians complaining, because people will just say, oh, well, they're just complaining because they're the ones being targeted. So you need people outside the group. It would be nice if women stood up and said, like, no, this isn't right.
It definitely isn't. And again, like I was saying earlier, I wasn't able to get my hands on the bill yet, so I haven't been able to go through it and actually to read it page for page, but it is 158 page long, so it's not a short bill. Wow. But as per what's being told, here is some of what is part of the bill. So there is a section. So basically, just so you guys understand, the new bill is to amend the criminal code. So they want to change the consequences of certain acts and adding a component of gender and hate. Now Bill C9. See, when for months now I've been saying that all those bills you're seeing, C2, C8, C9, C12, the new C63, now C16, are all part of a big fuck you bill. They're all interconnected. They all work together, but they could not pass it as just one because we would have seen the actual landscape, how it would have changed everything in one bill. And even Bruce Party, when he was on the show last week, I asked him, do you think this is all part of a big fuck you bill? And he's like, yep. That's exactly what it is. So this is just another part. So they all work together. Bill C8, Bill C9 defines speech, defines hate. Now Bill C16 is going to use that definition, and so will the new Bill C63. So right now, one of the things that it changes, it adds a section called femicide into the criminal code. And what it does, any murder of a woman that is hate motivated or linked to an intimate partner violence automatically becomes first-degree murder. That the penalty is life, no parole for 25 years. So that is for femicide. So basically, any murder of a woman that is hate motivated or linked to intimate partner violence, automatic first-degree murder. So any murder of a woman that is hate motivated. Okay. So remember the definition of hate. More than disdain. So if I kill her with my hands and I don't stab her 50 times, does that mean I wasn't hateful? It's absolutely insane. So any murder of a woman that is hate motivated or linked to an intimate partner violence automatically gets first degree murder. Life, no parole for 25 years. That's one. There is another section that's being modified, coercive control. What it does, new standalone offense, isolating, monitoring, degrading, or financially controlling a partner. Up to 5 years, indictable. Indictable? What the hell does that mean? Indictable? Is it me that can't fucking pronounce my words? Hold on here. Capable of being indicted. Oh, indictable. Okay, capable of being indicted. Evidence suggesting that the official was indictable for the crime, making one liable to indictment. So that's the second part. So we're seeing a new part for femicide, a new part for coercive control. Then this is a part that is interesting here. One of the things that the bill adds is non-consensual deepfakes. What it does, creating or distributing AI-generated sexual images without consent, up to 5 years. Distributing, so reposting a picture on social media that is sexual in nature, which everything is sexual. Go on Instagram. I don't follow women on Instagram. 0. And I'm targeted with sexual content every single day because I'm a dude. So they automatically assume I want to see a pair of tits in my Instagram feed. So what does that mean? So creating or distributing AI-generated sexual images without consent. Have you seen how good those AI images are? How the fuck am I supposed to know that it's not real? Like, I'm not saying that I would share that. But there's a lot of guys out there that share images.
Well,
what does that mean? If I share, so as someone that create a lot of content based on what's going on, if I use a video of something that's going viral right now and I'm commenting on it, I do that all the time. If one of the parts of that video is condemned as a sexual image because the girl is lightly dressed, does that mean that me using an AI-generated image or redistributing that image by creating content around it makes me a criminal that could face up to 5 years in prison? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, you know, it's like the devil's in the details. If what they're talking about is people who are, you know, creating pornographic material from, say, someone they know, their ex-girlfriend or a girl that they work with, and then distributing that, I have no problem with those people going to jail. The problem becomes is, you know, are these laws going to be applied? you know, as you say, if someone just gets sent a pornographic video, there's nothing to suggest that it was non-consensual. He doesn't know that it's even AI. He assumes it's just a regular consensual porn, and then he shares it. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but like, you know, I don't think that person should go to jail for 5 years. You know, there's you know, there's a lot of things in here that are eyebrow raising. You know, and some of it, like you know, in some ways, I'm not opposed to people going to jail longer for murder. In general, I mean, I think in general, I think we're too lenient on murders here in Canada. But when you're starting to, you know, pick and choose who goes to jail longer based on the identity of the victim, now you're getting into a really weird, slippery slope that I don't think you want to go down.
No, and you know, my problem with this is not the creating. If you're creating non-consensual sexual
then of course, yes,
deepfakes, then I don't see a problem with that. If you're doing that and you're distributing it, that's fine. That to me, go to prison. That I don't have.
Yeah,
I don't
saying
see
that's
a problem
fine.
with that.
It's fine that those people go to prison. Yeah.
It's fine that you want the criminal code to reflect that, because at the end of the day, deepfakes are still a pretty new phenomenon that it always takes time for the laws to deal with it. Now, I need to read the bill itself, sit down and see how it's written, because right now I'm just reading an actual resume, because I was not able until about an hour and a half ago to find the bill itself. So there was no way for me either way. I wouldn't have been able to read it because it's so new. But I don't like the distributing part, because if you create it, you post it on your social media, I repost it, or as I said, I use it to create content around it. Does that mean I'm guilty for distribution? Yeah. The devil is in the detail, as you said, and I'm going to have to read the bill to know. The next portion that they're adding is revenge porn, and that was mentioned in the comment. Somebody said that, oh, no, this is about revenge porn. Actually, it's Sophia. Sophia Grad 3407 is saying it's against revenge porn. Actually, it's a different section by at least what I have in front of me right now. The revenge porn double max penalty for distributing intimate images without consent. It goes from 5 years to 10 years. Now we get to child sexual offenses. Restores 12 mandatory minimum sentences the Supreme Court struck down. Child porn possession being one of them, luring. So one of the things that you and I have spoke heavily on this show is how many men recently, especially foreigners, that are here on temporary visa, they're trying to become permanent resident, are getting their case thrown out because they're immigrant when it was child pornography. This is deport. Unfortunately, we have our own pedophiles here in Canada that were born here, so we can't fucking deport them. So at least if that's, I'm going from a resume, if we're saying that they want to restore the 12 mandatory minimum sentences that the Supreme Court has struck down, I'm all for it. Make them 10 times worse than they were before that. When it comes to children, that is a line I will not cross. That I absolutely refuse to be lenient on child predators. That's the one thing I would believe in the death penalty. I know I shouldn't, but that is the one thing that I could be convinced that it's needed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for I'm all for that stuff. Again, you know, as we keep saying, it's devil's in the details. You know, it's good that on some level that they're starting to be a little bit tough on crime somewhere, but like, I don't like this picking and choosing which crimes. Just be tough. Just be more. If you want to make you know, murder more of a, if you want to increase the punishment for murder by more across the board, I will 100% support that. Less so if you're just saying, okay, if you murder this type of person, we're going to increase your punishment. But if you murder that kind of person, it's fine.
That's okay.
So, you know,
that's not as bad.
You'll just get the normal light punishment.
The other part is grooming / recruiting kids into crime. New offenses for adults pressuring minor into gang or crime. up to 14 years if it leads to serious offenses. Okay, that I don't see a problem with that. Again, I'll have to read the bill. Victim privacy in court. That one I'm not sure I like. Victim privacy in court. Harder for accused to access the victim's therapy counseling records. Must prove essential to defense.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
No.
Again, who is mentally ill? There's a lot of trans individuals out there that are mentally ill. Now we have a bill that is, I guarantee you, as we said earlier, that bill will consider trans women to be women, not dude,
sure. No doubt.
not a dude
No
with
doubt.
a mental illness.
No doubt.
And now now the victim of a crime that is mentally ill. I'm not saying that they should be victim of a crime again. That's not what I'm saying. But you're telling me that you won't be, it sounds at least that you won't be able to access their therapy / counseling records. So
yeah,
why?
I don't like
why
that.
wouldn't you?
I don't like that. Let the jury decide if it's relevant or not. Like
100%.
Like who is? You should not have to jump through hoops to get some, because that could be crucial to the case. If the person has a history of if they're telling their therapist, hey, I'm going to go and make a false rape accusation against some rich guy, I want that documentation to be at the trial. If I'm not saying this is a common thing, but it does happen. It absolutely does happen. The point is, if you're on trial for your life or you're facing serious jail time, you should have every tool available for your defense, and the jury will decide if something is relevant or not.
I agree. I completely agree with you. Let's see. There was 2 more points to this, not one more. The Jordan rule fix. Court must consider alternatives before staying delayed trials, extension for complex cases. Designed to stop case being tossed for delay. That, to me, the way I understand the Jordan rule, I'm for that part. I don't like when cases are being thrown for technicalities or cases are being thrown because they took too long. Well, take less fucking time. Stop delaying it so much. Fix your fucking problems. I don't want a rapist, a criminal to go off because literally go off. Wow, that is a poor choice of word. I don't want to see a rapist be released into the population because for some reason his trial took too long. Yeah, that definitely needs to be fixed. So let's see what are the other bills, because the other parts of this bill, because again, it is 158 pages long. Man, that is a long bill, man. God damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't like, by the way, as much as I read them all, I do not enjoy reading those bills. It's boring as shit. Man, it's boring to read those bills.
Well, they're designed to be confusing and boring
100%.
so that people don't read them, right?
For the people out there, have you guys seen a result for Bill C9? Because I was invited to an emergency meeting organized by a man of the name of, what was his name? Because I was invited there. I don't know the guy that invited it, but somebody said I should be on that call. But all to say that there was a meeting with more than 900 people on it, most people of the Christian faith that have been asked to join an emergency call because and Andrew Lawton, Andrew Lawton, the Conservative Party member, was on that call with other really big names in the conservative movement. But he was saying on the call today that the vote for Bill C9 to see if it's going to pass or not, because it was reported today that the Liberals will honor the backdoor deal that they made with the Bloc Québécois, where they asked about removing the good faith portion of the criminal code. I believe it was section 131, section paragraph 2, where it would remove religious protection against hate speech from the criminal code. Remember, if the Liberals need another party to vote in favor of C9 in order to pass, that's the deal that they've made. Supposedly the deal is back on, and today was the vote. They were voting, they're in committee right now, and they're voting to see if the bill passes as it is right now, or does it need to be retabled, need to be sent back to the House of Commons. So this is a very important vote, and that was the call. They were asking the people on the call to contact their MPs. They knew they were providing the name and the telephone numbers of the people on the committee that would be responsible for voting for this, and they're like, flood them. Just start calling and just flood them. Be polite, but let them know that they're against Bill C9, that this bill cannot pass. But it seems they're still voting. Like they've been,
as we speak.
I cannot find an update right now. That's why I was asking. Are people of the audience, have you seen a result? Because I've been looking for it for a couple hours now. It was supposed to be done by 5 or 6 p.m. We're 8:46 and I still don't see the results available for Bill C9. So I don't know what the hell is going on here, but have you guys in the audience seen the result? Because I cannot find them. And they were supposed to be done by, I thought it was like 5 p.m.
Yeah. And it's not.
No, it says consideration in committee in progress. That's the last progress on the bill itself. If you go to parl.ca, where the bills are hosted, where you can actually download the bill itself and look at where it stands right now, what's the progress about the bill. But I cannot find anything, and that should have been released almost 4 hours ago. So I don't know what's going on right now with Bill C9. I really thought I'd have an update, but I think Rusty Wiener is saying that nope. So we still don't have a result, which is messed up. I really wonder what's going on. That's never good. You know, I'm a big fight fan. When you look at when a fight goes to the judges and it takes a long time for the judges to come back with a decision, you know somebody's getting fucked.
Yeah,
that's always how we see it in the fight game, right? As I've coached many fights, and if your guy is not it was a tough fight and the judges are taking forever to come back with a decision, somebody's getting fucked. And I don't like that. Almost 4 hours after we should have seen the result, it's still not there.
Yeah, well, I don't, and also, you know, votes don't really work like it's not like they have to privately confer. Like it should all be public.
It's a yay nay too, right? It's everybody that is part of that committee is gonna vote on the bill. So it's not like they have 400 people either. It's whoever's on that committee.
Yeah.
So it's very strange that it hasn't been denounced yet. I don't like it. Gonna have to look it up tomorrow morning to see, because I don't think, if it's not there yet, I don't see them posting it today. Which is, I don't know what the hell's happening here. There was another bill that was worth talking about. Yeah. Have you seen something? Because even in the comments, I don't think anybody's seen it. My bad, figured it out. So I don't think it's been.
No, I don't think
updated.
No.
Hasn't been
updated yet.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree with Rusty Wiener on that one. These kind of meetings need to be live streamed. They normally are, but I could not find a stream for the vote. So CPAC, Bill C9, because normally on CPAC you can find all of them, but I wasn't able to find one earlier. So yeah, I still don't have anything, but I'll keep my eye on it. We'll definitely talk about it tomorrow. There's another bill I wanted to cover. Remember on Sunday we talked about the Bill C-15, the Budget Implementation Act, and how the Liberals were trying to pass amendments to the Red Tape Reduction Act by hiding the amendments they wanted in that 630-page omnibus bill. The amendments that would have granted cabinet ministers the power to exempt any individual or company from any federal law on the books, except for the criminal code up to 6 years. It was voted down today. So it looks like the Bill C-15 is going to need to be retabled. I haven't seen why. Sorry, it was voted down yesterday. So it was defeated, so it's going to need to be retabled. So that's a good thing. At least Bill C-15 has been voted down. It looks like people saw through it. Before I get to the last topic, I need to speak about our sponsor. So tonight's episode of the Political Orphans is brought to you by Gabble, the world's first live video debate app on the market. You can choose to sit back and watch, or if you have the balls like me, you can join the debate. Because like us, Gabble believes in civil discourse. And if you feel like trying it, because it's a game, there's 10 subjects a day and you get to battle other people. People vote for you if they think you won. If not, you might get the vote from the AI that will decide who the winner is. But all to say that if you want to try debating others, that's what the app is all about. Super civil. I've had a lot of fun up to now on that app. But look at the description below. You can find our affiliate link. The last thing I wanted to talk about is fucking Conservative Party of Canada. The Conservative this morning were whining that have you heard about that the Conservatives over the week have put a motion together that they proposed a motion where they wanted the Liberals to confirm the terms of the MOU that they signed with Alberta, and Carney basically said, I will not sign that. So Carney's not interested in
What?
Yeah. People won't stop talking about it. I find it hilarious. And
So
they're
people ask for more information, and he's like, no, I'm just not going to do that.
No. So the Conservative put a motion together asking the Liberals to confirm the MOU, to state publicly that they will respect the term and condition put in that MOU. Mark Carney said no.
Oh, no. No,
it just
guys,
proves
you didn't think that was
how...
a real document, did you?
Exactly. So today I made a post and all I said is good. This is great news for Alberta. The MOUs propose provincial $130 a ton industry carbon tax plus mandatory carbon capture would price Alberta's oil and gas out of the world's market. So this is a good news for Alberta. I'm happy that he won't confirm it because he's basically doing what I've been saying since they tabled it, that it was all bullshit. But it's a good deal for Alberta because there's no way Alberta's oil is going to prosper with that green bullshit agenda that's being pushed through that MOU. So, the more I see those things, the more I see Carney literally laughing in the face of people by saying no to his own document that he just signed last week or about 10 days ago. Just confirms to me that Alberta needs to separate. If they want to prosper, they need to get the fuck out of Canada. Like, they're never going to prosper in Canada. There's no way.
Well, I mean, that's what a lot of the people there are saying. I mean, obviously, I would like them not to. I'd like them to stay, but that's only because the rest of us are fucked if they leave. For me, it's not even about like the politics of it. It's about like we'll be left behind. We'll be left with a debt-ridden husk. And because that's the only asset, that's the only real wealth that Canada has. The only asset generating any returns right now is Alberta, Alberta oil. We're fucked if they leave.
Well, and I haven't been paying that much attention to it because I don't really care about Quebec, even though I live here right now.
Yeah, they're making noise too. I've been hearing a little bit about it.
There's gonna be an election in 2026, and the party that's leading by a massive margin is a separatist party, and
really?
it is not
they're like, Alberta wants to leave. Okay, well we're gonna get involved in that. We want some of that.
Can you imagine though how fucked? I don't think Quebec can separate. Like, I think this would be a death warrant to their to the province.
Well, I think Canada could survive without Quebec, but we're fucked without Alberta.
the problem with if Quebec leaves is that we have the most hydroelectricity in the world. We're the biggest
Yeah, that's true.
producer of hydroelectricity, and we supply the east coast of the US. We supply a massive portion of Ontario. So you got on one side, you have hydroelectricity that is provided to millions of people. If Quebec leaves, they're just cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. They leave with that. Plus, we have a lot of minerals in Quebec too, right? Some of the biggest mines are in Quebec as well. So there's a lot of money. It's just so mismanaged that it's just, it is not well managed whatsoever. But on a Canadian level, if you remove the natural resources from Quebec and then the massive natural resources of Alberta,
yeah, it's bad. It's not.
It would make for very interesting politics. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly certainly interesting what's going on with Canada right now. Canadian politics are all of a sudden interesting, right? We've had the most boring politics for a very long time, and now people down in America are looking up at us, watching our reality show up here.
Yep. We still have a few minutes to go. You want to take some of the comments that we're seeing? Because
yeah.
There was
Squay 8398. This is a good one. He says Quebec is mismanaged on purpose so they can benefit from being a have-not province. Yeah, that's a good point. Their GDP is just below the threshold to qualify for as a have-not province, and it has for a really long time. And then once you qualify for that, then it matters. Then the formula goes to how big the province is, how many people live in there. So like a more populous province that's a have-not will get a lot more money than a less populous province. So for example, New Brunswick and Quebec are both have-not provinces, but Quebec gets like $13 billion and New Brunswick might get like 500 million or something. So it's intentional. They know what they're doing there.
So, man, that's just insane. 94% of the electricity produced in Quebec comes from hydroelectricity. 94%. Yeah,
it's actually pretty
like
impressive.
the domestic sales of the Quebec market alone for its electricity is between 11 to 12 billion dollars. And they sell between 3 to 5 billion outside of Quebec. That's insane.
That's just crazy,
yeah, we have the biggest hydroelectricity infrastructure in the world. So I just don't know. I'm just looking right now what actually they do, because I know they have a lot of mines. I know that I'm working with I'm doing some work with a company that supports one out of Quebec, and they're a gold mine.
There's a lot of minerals and a lot of mining in Quebec for sure. Northern Quebec especially. I mean, Quebec in a lot of ways is just like Canada in general. A ton of natural resources, like a ton of wealth is locked up in natural resources that they aren't exploiting. So that so it's kind of just more of the same. Richard Pierce, 1780 says, here in BC, we're squandering our hydro, forestry, and mining. Fuck Ebby. Yeah, I mean, BC used to be an economic powerhouse. Clearly, they still could be. BC is also very rich in natural resources, and yet they are not exploiting it. This is and they'll hem and haw and talk about business case and regulation, but fundamentally, the far left hive mind has gotten to a place where, and they'll never admit this, but they believe that it is immoral for a nation to extract its natural resources. Anything that disturbs the earth, whether it's getting oil out of the ground or digging minerals out of the mountainside, is immoral. They won't frame it that way, but that's how they feel. It's not a business case. It's an emotional case to leave resources in the ground. And for a country whose only real wealth is its natural resources, this is a death sentence to have these kind of people in charge. And the only reason they're
No,
even in charge,
100%.
the only reason the NDP is in charge in BC is because of bullshit culture wars. It's because BC is full of far left whack jobs, and so they're electing fellow far left whack jobs. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with the NDP being actually good governing a good governing party or economic policy or anything like that. It's just these guys believe what I believe on abortion, on gay rights, on all the shit that doesn't fucking matter. Not that these issues are completely irrelevant, but they're we should be electing politicians based on their competence in running government, not what they believe on fucking culture war issues.
So if you look at mining, the top 3 provinces in Canada, it's Ontario at 13 billion produced each year. British Columbia is second at $12 billion produced in 2023. 13 billion for Ontario, making it number 1. And Quebec is number 3 at $11.9 billion. So they're all pretty much, a top 3 is almost interchangeable at that point. But I didn't realize, though, that Quebec has 22 high in demand mineral like iron, zinc, huge critical mineral like lithium, rare earth, niobium. I've never heard of niobium. That sounds pretty cool. But
it's for batteries and stuff.
Yeah. Anything with ium at the end normally has to do with batteries. But it seems that Quebec, Ontario, and British Columbia are the 3 main provinces.
That's right.
And Quebec is sitting on their asses. Same with British Columbia. It's a self-inflicted idiocy through terrible policies that are keeping our natural resources in the ground. And as you said, considering that we're not recognized as innovators for technology, our main
high-tech
our
sector,
money is in
startup culture.
No. We make money with natural resources. Now we're going to tax our oil and gas in Alberta 20 to 30% above the world's market. We sit on our natural resources in BC, Ontario, and Quebec. It is the dumbest thing. The more you look into it, the more stupid we are. Sorry, the stupider we are, I think is the right way to say it. We are the stupider.
Yeah, that's right. At some point we're gonna have to shit it off the pot. Like the economy's gonna make it such that we're gonna have no choice but to start, getting our resource out of the ground, and it'll be interesting which way Canada goes. Are we still gonna stick with what's not working, or is there gonna be a critical mass of people who have said, okay, this failed experiment has gone far enough. It's time to elect the adults in the room and clean this place. It's not hard. It's really not hard to get this country back on track economically. You just have to have the political will to do it.
Unfortunately, it's, as I've been saying for a while now, even Bruce Party agreed last week. Everybody we speak to seems to agree. It's going to have to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, before we end, I just want to remind people that on Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, there will be a special episode of The Political Orphans. Again, I don't know if you're joining or not, but that's the only time that Mark Nixon had. Yeah, my Eastern Time, so I think it's 4 for your time.
I might be. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yep. So Mark Nixon is joining us to speak about why he's not addressing all of the problems that are out there on this content. So that should make for a very interesting conversation on...
Yeah, that will be a good chat.
Yeah, I like the guy. I actually like the guy, but I don't understand why he doesn't rip into the conservative and what needs to be talked about. On Saturday, we have a Saturday night mashup. That one's going to be cool on radical Islam. So it's going to be a very interesting conversation. And on Sunday, just so you guys know, we will not have an episode of The Political Orphans because I was asked to join Pastor Arthur Pawlowski live event. He wanted us to put together a charity event because every year he gives a lot of his time, a lot of money to homeless. And not funny enough, but he was arrested during COVID because he refused to stop giving to the homeless. So on Sunday, there is an event that we're organizing with Arthur Pawlowski that's going to last from like 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So that's what we're doing on Sunday. So there will not be a show of the political orphans on Sunday because that's what we're going to be doing.
But yeah, so you guys will still be able to tune into that. What you're doing?
It's still going to be. It's going to be streamed everywhere. Oh yeah, 100%. There still is going to be a show streaming. Is going to be streaming from 6 to 10. You're welcome to join, by the way, because those events are always people show up, they leave, they show up for half an hour.
Yeah, I might pop in for a little bit. That'll be fun.
Because the whole point is just to put it in front of as many people as possible. I think the last time we did this, we were above 10,000 people or something like that were watching the stream. So it's just, we want to raise money we want to help Arthur with the work that he does. So I do charity work on the side. I need to do more, but yeah, that's just one of the other ways to do though.
Yep. No, that sounds fun.
Hold on, let me just take that. I just think it's funny. Trevor, Nico, do you ever get to see your family? Yeah, I do during the day. We all work from home, right? I work from home, so does my wife. So I get to spend time with my son every day and my wife. But is it enough if you ask my wife? No, fuck no. It's not. But this week is crazy. I'm literally recording every single day. 2 today, 2 tomorrow, 2 Thursday, 1 Friday, 1 Saturday, and 1 Sunday. Yeah, it makes for an interesting week. But that's it. I'm done. Are you frozen or are you just very still right now? I think we lost our liberal Rob Ambrose. He's been stuck there for like 30 seconds, not moving. So I will close the show. As he says, we'll put a pin in it. And great conversation, guys. If you want to support the work that Rob and I do, please consider becoming a member. It's $2.99 a month on YouTube. If you don't want to give YouTube your money, we fully understand. You can give us a tip right here. You can buy us a coffee. It's a one-time thing. You give as much as you want or as little as you want. But the most important part, just continue showing up. Continue commenting. Continue liking the videos and continue providing your opinion. And on that note, guys, we will see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time, as always. Have a good day, guys.